Okay. Seeing the appointed time has arrived, the chair opens up the meeting of the Mashpee Planning Board here Thursday, September 29th, 2022, in the Wacoit Meeting Room of Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Massachusetts. The time being 7:05 is posted. We're broadcasting live on Channel 18 and streaming live on Mashpee, Town of Mashpee website, https://www.mashpeema.gov/channel-18. So I'd like to invite everybody to rise and join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we have a public hearing at 7:10 regarding our proposed zoning amendments that are going to be on town meeting warrant for October 17th, 2022. But under new business, we have a request for release of covenants. So I'll read it. Request for release of covenants recorded at the Barnstable Registry of Deeds at Book 1480, page 1154, pertaining to the property addressed as 52 Oregon Road, Assessors Map 22, Parcel 126, in the Santuit Woods subdivision, originally referred to as Timber Lane Shores. Plan recorded at the Barnstable Registry of Deeds in Tube 160, property shown as Lot 144. So Evan, so we have Evan Lair, our town planner, zooming in with us. Evan, do you want to bring us through this request for a release of covenant?
Sure, this is a relatively simple request. The Timber Lane Shores subdivision, I think it's Santuit Woods now, as you had read, was approved by the planning board back in 1970. These are all public ways now owned by the town of Mashpee. This is a fully built-out subdivision, and there are numerous releases for individual lots throughout the subdivision, but this is probably one that has never been released because it remains vacant. They are approaching a closing, I want to say next week, and wanted to have the board consider a release of the covenant prior to the closing so they can convey the property. Given that this is a completed subdivision, there's no utility work or additional road work that needs to be accomplished to access the property, and that the way is owned and maintained by the town of Mashpee. I would recommend release as requested.
Any questions?
Questions?
I'd entertain a motion to approve the release.
So be.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So Evan, we can do that with 3 votes, right?
Yes, you can. And if it's okay, since I'm not in the office, generally I would have a completed document, and you would sign and notarize in the room. I've not been able to prepare that for you. So if possible, prior to end of business tomorrow, if you are available, I'll have a covenant release document available in the clerk's office. If you could stop by and sign it, and Debbie could notarize it so that I could transmit it to the property owner early next week.
How many people have to sign it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So if you could stop by the clerks to sign it and have Debbie notarize it when you sign it.
So does it have to be me that signs it?
I would need all 3 of your signatures.
Okay, I can come by.
Well, I can come by, but I don't know, you can.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem for me.
Yeah.
So do you want to do it this way? How about you send it to me? I'll get it notarized during the day. I'll have to go to a bank at lunch hour, and then I'll bring it here and leave it with Debbie, and then you two can come in at some point.
What time would you bring it to Debbie so I know when to come?
Well, tomorrow's Friday,
Ooh.
so
By 2 o'clock. We should have by 2 o'clock.
And
unless,
if it's a large inconvenience, it can probably wait until Monday. I would just want it to be efficient if possible.
Yeah.
While I'm out.
Yeah, let's do it
see,
that
I
way.
can't come,
No.
I can't
Just
come.
Get it notarized and send it, and
All right.
then we can come in on Monday.
So email the form to me. I'll sign it in front of a notary and then bring it to town hall. I'll bring it to Debbie's office for Dennis and Karen to come in and sign it
I'll
maybe
have
Monday.
a document in your inbox before first thing tomorrow.
You guys can you guys come by on Monday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
make
come by
it a
tomorrow,
point
too.
sometime, yeah.
Monday, it won't be here till Monday.
Okay, Monday.
All right,
Got that.
That's good. Thank
Okay.
you.
great. Oh, okay, so if we're all done with that, we can go on to our public hearing. Okay. Mashpee Planning Board Public Hearing Notice. I'm going to read it into the record. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 5 of the Mashpee Planning, Section 5, the Mashpee Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Thursday, September 29th, 2022 at 7:10 from the Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, in the Wacoya Meeting Room to review the following zoning articles proposed for action at the October 17th, 2022 Mashpee Town Meeting. They're numbered, right?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
7 to 11.
So we have, okay.
What did we change in this?
So I think it's warrant article number 10, to see if the town will vote to repeal Article 11, floodplain zone provisions in its entirety, and replace with new Article 11 in the zoning bylaw, floodplain zone overlay. This bylaw will replace in its entirety the town's current floodplain zone provisions. This update is mandatory to remain in the National Flood Insurance Program. This bylaw regulates development in the floodplain with only those regulations that are not enforced through state requirements such as statewide building code and Wetlands Protection Act. The most significant new regulation in this bylaw pertains to administrative management of permits in the floodplain for the building and conservation departments. Okay? Now, this next sentence, right? This bylaw also proposes to prohibit the use of fill in all flood zones, which is above and beyond the minimum requirements of all flood zones except for the velocity zone, with the exception of dredged material and beach nourishment or rock or other materials for the reconstruction of a revetment or groin. That no longer pertains.
Right, that was.
That's correct.
Okay.
So we're just voting on the first half that you just read, right?
Yep. So, okay. So that's Article 10 in the warrant.
So we're voting, Madam Chair, we're voting on the skeleton with the excision of the prohibition against fill and the exceptions.
Yep. And then Article 11 is associated, to see if the town will vote to add the following definitions as new subsection 174-3.1 in the zoning bylaw. This bylaw amendment would add the definitions that pertain to development in the floodplain as required to remain in the National Flood Insurance Program. And these definitions are development, floodway, functionally dependent use, highest adjacent grade, historic structure, new construction, recreational vehicle, regulatory floodway, special flood hazard area, start of construction, structure, substantial repair or foundation, variance, violation, Zone A, Zone AE, Zone AH, Zone AO, Zone X, Zone V, Zone VE. Okay, so let's tackle these two warrant articles first. So if it's okay with the board, I'll ask for public comment. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to comment on those two articles? Okay, so we'll move on. The next one in the public hearing notice.
We want to vote on them two articles, or?
Well, we have to close the public hearing, so let's go through them all, and then we'll close the public hearing. Per the public hearing notice, the next warrant article is
7?
Article 7. Thank you. So to ask the town to amend of the zoning bylaw, section 174-272A, stormwater management of the Mashpee zoning bylaw. This article would mandate that stormwater low-impact design strategies be utilized, whereas the current regulation merely encourages stormwater low-impact design strategies where practicable. Where practicable. Okay? Then Article 8, to ask the town to amend Section 174-27.2B2 of the Mashpee zoning bylaw by adding a new subsections D and E after Section 174-272B2C, stormwater management. This article specifies specific low-impact design requirements for removal of nitrogen and phosphorus from stormwater at single and two-story dwellings.
Yep.
And then what's Article 9 in the warrant? To ask the town to reformat and amend Section 174-24.2B3 of the Mashpee zoning bylaw by adding new sections VI and VII under current Section 174-24.2B3V and indenting appropriately under stormwater management. This article specifies specific low-impact design requirements for removal of nitrogen and phosphorus from stormwater at all lots that are not single and two-family dwellings, such as new subdivision roadways, commercial and industrial uses in buildings, and multifamily residential. Further, this article proposes a minor reformatting of text by indenting subsections appropriately where they are currently not.
That's a good one.
So, again, anybody from the public would like to comment on these proposed changes to the zoning bylaw?
I'm trying to follow which is the actual floodplain bylaw.
The floodplain bylaw,
Did we get to that one
if,
yet?
yes, so if you look in the packet,
That's number 10.
yes,
Number 10, yeah.
so sometimes when you put the public hearing notice out,
It goes out of order.
they're not numbered. So when the public hearing notice was made, we didn't have the order.
And that one, we had to pass to keep the flood insurance for the town.
Right. So Lynn, do you want to comment?
Lynn Barbie, Surf Drive. After watching what happened in Florida, it is just astonishing to me that we might allow people to just fill in with fill and somewhere on the floodplain. Thank you.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak? Just state your name and address, please.
Michaela Colombo, Meadowbrook Road. I echo Lynn Barbie's concerns. I think it's inevitable we're going to get that type of hurricane coming this way. I know we're not Florida, and I don't want this to happen, but I think we're remiss to continue to fill in the flood zone. I was disappointed at the last meeting when it was recommended after all of the time that went into this article, all of the thought that went into it, the preparation, the document that answered all the questions, two-page document, it was clear, the video by the town planner. I was disappointed that the fill was taken out. I think it's dangerous. And as we see climate change coming faster than we had anticipated, it's a dangerous place to be. So I'm hoping that this will be reconsidered in May if there's nothing we can do about it now. Thanks.
Thank you. If there's no other comments from the public, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, at this point, the planning board needs to,
Recommend.
vote to recommend. I think it's fine to do a motion that,
Recommend them all, I think,
so recommend Articles 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
yeah, I make that motion, we recommend.
Is there a second to that motion? So we're recommending that town meeting pass these 5 articles. Is there a second?
I'm trying to second it. I just want to be clear. I'm recommending, my recommendation is not approval of it, but it's just facilitates going to.
So if we don't make a recommendation, a town meeting can't vote on it at this point. We either have to recommend
Or not recommend,
or not recommend.
or take no stance, we stick this 3.
You can't, at this point, you cannot ignore it.
All right, but they all seem
So-
well worth it to pass to me.
So there's a motion on the floor to recommend Article 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to town meeting for approval.
Then the town meeting's gotta vote on it.
Yes, and it is a 2/3 vote at town meeting?
Yes.
Okay. A second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed or abstaining? Okay, good. And so at town meeting, you'll see that when these articles come up,
Yeah, we gotta-
I'll get to the mic and report to town meeting how we voted tonight. And is that it? I think that's it.
And I make a motion, we adjourn. I got all mixed up because you made it last
Second.
time.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank
There we
you,
go, we
everybody.
sound good.